Well, I think the biggest thing people put in their way of applying for government money is they think they're not eligible. And I think of this a lot because I saw this interview by another nice fellow on the internet who does interviews about government money, particularly for business and the like. And he did an interview of this fellow who is the head of the guy, is the chief honcho would give out money at the SBA. Okay, so he knows more than anybody. This is sort of like the last, the last answer for any kind of question. And he talks about how, God, don't count yourself out. You got to apply. It doesn't matter what your credit score is. It doesn't matter if you're incorporated or not incorporated. All you need is a social security number, stuff like that. And I'm going to run this after I finish this little bit because I said, well, God, there must be a lot of people who aren't. And actually, really, right, there are like big companies. If you have more than 300 employees, well, they're probably not my people. But another thing, I went to the rules here, and actually I found this from SBA.com, which is not SBA.gov. So this is just somebody making money. But he has sort of interesting about how he said, are convicted felons eligible for the PPP? Okay, they're ineligible if they're currently incarcerated. So if you're in jail, you can't apply. You're currently on probation, or you're currently on parole. Other than that, it's pretty good that you'll be eligible. Now, what I did, because this is .com, I can't trust that, go to SBA.gov, or actually the Treasury has the real data on this and the information, and you go there and you see the same thing. If you go down and search, where is it? Okay, for felon, click, there's another felon. Where's the felon? Felony last year, felon. Oh, where's the felon? I keep going. I want to go backwards to this. Where? No, it's not going backwards. Well, it's in here somewhere. But anyway, it's just the same thing that fella on .com has. So make sure you know for sure that you're not eligible, and the only way is to apply. So watch the rest of the video I have of the executive from the SBA. It tells you all about applying, where to, how to, and how easy it is. Well, maybe it's a little hard, but you can figure it out. Well, here's a fellow I've seen a few times on the internet, and I have respect for his research, particularly about government programs, what he does with the SBA. And what he's done here is interview an SBA official. This is the guy in charge, the head honcho of the PPP. And that's what I'm always trying to tell people is don't trust people like me or or even him or anybody else who's selling things. When you go to talk to the people who are giving out the money, they give you the best answer, okay? But I got to run a little clip of his, and I'll give you the link to the whole video on YouTube because you should watch the whole thing. It really takes you through, and you'll see how more people are eligible for this than you ever thought before, than I ever thought before. And that's what you should realize. And you don't even need good credit. You don't need any credit. You don't even have to have a business, as long as you're making extra money somewhere. And so that's why it really expands the market for this and not letting just insiders do this. And this is what I appreciate him eliminating the mystery and watching the bureaucrat. You watch this bureaucrat, watch the whole thing after you see this, and you'll see how he wants everybody to play. He wants to make quota. He's afraid. They think they have enough money for everybody, but I don't trust that either because it went so quickly last time. So watch this and then I'll talk to you on the other side. Let's see. How do we get this going? Where is it?
Don't count yourself out. Go talk to someone. It's worth the half hour of investment and investigation because ultimately you could get a tax-free, forgivable loan to help you through this pandemic and these potential shutdowns.
Right. Yeah, I agree. That's kind of what I've been trying to say is a couple hours of work and you can get this huge effective stimulus amount. Now, we've been receiving this question a bunch in the chat. People are asking if there's any credit requirements for the PPP loan for their business.
No, this is great. See, Congress basically said we're going to create this program, and if you use the money the right way, we're going to forgive it, and there will be no tax consequences. Effectively, it could act like a grant, assuming you use the loan proceeds in a certain way. So, there are no credit requirements for underwriting or collateral. You do not need to put your business or your house on the line. There's no, the lender is 100% guaranteed, meaning if you, in the unfortunate event, default on your loan, the lender will not lose out because the government has guaranteed that loan. The idea is that we're trying to assist as many people as possible without these traditional credit checks or underwriting that normally sometimes may prevent people from accessing credit.
Sometimes, most of the time. So that's why watch this whole video, because it gives you a sense of what the government really is trying to do. And we all have this, preconceived notion of what government programs are or whatever. And that's why I always go to the source. You're looking for anything. And actually, he's a big official, the SBA. And the SBA other program, EIDL, I just checked, that's still not open yet for the grant part. So if you go to the EIDL, SBA.gov and go EIDL, and then see and click the to apply button, then it'll tell you if the new one's out. Now, they said it'd be out a couple days ago, and it isn't, so you just check every day. But here, now you work through an intermediary. Now, there's another fella, when you watch the whole video, you see over here, there's another fella. Now, he's part of another financial services industry that helps people apply. And I called them up to see, and they will help you for free to help you apply. Now, what they do, they get money from the SBA to do this. Now, they also have another business. They help financing kind of stuff. It's like a monthly program of $50 to $100 a month. You don't have to fool with that now, because they'll put you onto an underwriter, which is a real kind of bank thing, to get apply for. And that's really to find out, because somebody has to send the application to SBA. So they're going to make sure that you're eligible. So if you call these people or some of the other people, I'll show you in a minute, that they will make sure that you're eligible before they send and go through it all that way. You got to take with some, like the SBA guy said, take a half hour, find out if you're really eligible or not. What the hell did you do the last half hour? And this, you can get up to $20,000 or even $40,000 that you don't pay back. Particularly a small business, it's all income, and you don't have to pay back any of the money you're using for income. So you get 100% payback. Let me show you some other things they have. Oh, no, there he is. So this is the guy you saw in the video when you watched that. Now, he apparently has a deal with the service here, Womply, WOMPLOY, and they're the people that help you fill it out. Now, I called them up to make sure there was no hidden kind of thing, and no, and they're really, I was able to get them on the phone pretty easily too. So they may be a good place to check. But here's his link, and I'll put that in the description, because I'm sure he's getting a little piece back because he's bringing in customers. So if you want to be nice to him, you do that. And he seems like a nice fellow. And actually, he's open. So he's showing you. That's what I like. Everybody tries to say, oh, there's a big mystery to this. No, you just talk to the government. So that's what's great. And then also you go to SBA.gov and then put in /PPP. And they have a section there on find a lender. So that's another way. And you put in your zip code or whatever, and they'll show you local people. Now, the other place, too, is your community. Well, what they're trying to do initially, I think more and more banks will come online as days go on. But this is how to find a community bank. These are the people, actually, the SBA is trying to get more applications for the small banks, not the big Morgan Stanley kind of folks, And if you go to icba.org, and you find your community bank there, and you put in a zip code, and they'll show you all the community bank, and get the list and call them all, or call these guys, with his link. So he gets a little something out of this too. But you don't have to, unless you charge for something else. Just make sure they're not charging you for anything, and ask up front to make sure. Mostly they're probably getting your name and probably pester you for a while, but you could handle that. So it's good. I think this guy is doing a service by interviewing people officials. So to let people know that this is real stuff, and look at that guy. You think he would be in a tuxedo or something? Nah, he looks like he just came back from refereeing a kid's soccer game or something. Doesn't he? They're just people, yeah, and that's what's important. You realize the bureaucrats, people, you talk to them as a human, and they'll treat you as a human back. And that's why I heard today what I like it. But it's tough being a human, isn't it? So find about this program. No credit problems, and the other guy here who talks about it too is has a lot of good stories about how people don't realize that they're eligible for this. There's nowhere else in the world that you're going to get money like this easily, unless you go out and earn it. Here, you just got to fill out the bureaucratic stuff and fill out the forms. And still, there's no guarantee. But man, if you don't try, you know that's definitely not going to get it, right? So the first step is to try. So go out and try.